Okay, so on today's show, I'm going to show you a video the Medicare team did, about all the questions we get when someone's first going on Medicare for the first time. Hope you enjoy it.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. I'm Brad Rhodes, sitting here with Trevor, Nanney, and Daniel Leonard. We're down here in Garden City, South Carolina. Hey, listen, we have been working with so many people going on Medicare over the last number of years. And my gosh, we have so many questions that people have. Medicare is so confusing. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about 5 or 6 questions that we get a lot. Stay tuned. Hey, so we're back. You know, Medicare is so confusing with all these letters, Part A, Part B, Medicare Advantage, Part C, and the Part D, Plan G, Plan M. People get so confused. So we wanted to talk to you today about some of the questions we get on a daily basis. I've got Daniel and Trevor sitting here with me. We are talking to so many retirees, and so we're going to go through some questions here. All right, so one of the first questions we get is, when do I enroll in Medicare? Trevor, you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure, Brad. Get this question a lot. You see different things, researching and online. It depends if you are working or retired, but typically 3 months is when you need to start thinking about the Medicare process. If you are drawing Social Security, your Medicare A and B card gets sent. If you are delaying Social Security, then 3 months before is when you can enroll in A and B, and we help people with that weekly. And then if you're still working, then you don't necessarily have to start A and B.
That's good. That's good. A lot of people get confused about that. So here's another question we get a lot. And Daniel, maybe you can jump in on this one.
Yep.
Will I have to change my doctor when going on Medicare?
Yeah, good question. In our area in the Triad, North Carolina, we are really blessed with, all the big facilities that kind of take up most of the area. And most of these plans work with these facilities. So most of the time what we do is just sit down with you, go through your doctors, your dentist, obviously your prescriptions, and then kind of decide which plan is going to be the best for you based on that. But in our area, most of the time you are fine to stay on your same doctor, your same dentist, and we work with you to make sure that your plan is going to work with your doctors.
Yeah, that's a good point. Different plans have different networks sometimes, and so it's good to check that out. All right, so let me see. What do we have here? So another question we get is, because you see all this stuff on the TV all the time, and all these companies saying, hey, you got to make a change every year, but do you actually need to make a change plan every single year, Trevor?
Not necessarily, no. It's good to maybe check and review your plan each year, and that's kind of where we come in. Is we are your agent of record, and each year we're able to see new plans that come out. Your doctors might change, prescriptions might change, so it's a good thing to review the plan. But if you're happy with it, then a lot of times you can just keep that plan rolling into the next year.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, we sit down with folks every year. Sometimes it's just a matter of people wanting to validate that they're on the right plan. They sometimes heard their neighbor has a plan, and they want to see if that's right for them. But anyway, you don't necessarily have to change. And here's a really good question, because we work with a lot of husbands and wives. So here's the question we get: do you have to? Let me see what I wrote down here. It says, "Can I just take the same plan as my spouse?"
Yeah, I get that question a ton, especially, a husband comes in, his wife's already on Medicare, or, vice versa, and they love their spouse's plan. They're like, hey, Daniel, can I just stay on the same plan or get on the same plan as my spouse? And in some cases, yes, but kind of like what I was talking about earlier, a lot of the times it really depends on your prescriptions and what doctors you have. So sometimes you can if you don't have many prescriptions, don't see the doctor much, maybe so, but most of the time there's likely a chance you're going to be on a different plan because of your prescriptions are different, your situation is totally different than your spouse in a lot of cases.
Yeah. Seems like we do have a lot of husbands and wives that do have the same plan.
Yep.
But sometimes I think that's because, like, if we have a husband and wife and they're both in really good health, they don't take a lot of prescriptions.
Yep.
Sometimes they are on the same plan, but like you said, not necessarily. Okay, so question 5 here. How do I? And again, these are questions our clients ask, or people we talk to on a day-to-day basis. How do I pay for and start Medicare if I want to delay Social Security?
It's a great question, yeah, because some people are still working and they want to start Medicare, but then some people are already drawing Social Security, but those that are delaying it now with how things are changing, you can start Medicare and not draw Social Security. You hear about these penalties of I don't want to get penalized. Well, you can delay Social Security, and 3 months before your 65th birthday, you can start Medicare A and B. You would just get your Part B premiums instead of taking out of your Social Security check. You would get them billed to you quarterly from Medicare.
Okay, that's good. That's good. And then the last question we're going to talk about, and I kind of laugh when I see this question. I really shouldn't laugh, but again, all this stuff is so confusing, especially when you're brand new to Medicare. So here's what a lot of clients ask us: do I have Medicare or do I have Medicaid? Daniel,
Yep.
you want to tackle that one?
Yep, and I shouldn't laugh, but for us, knowing the ins and outs, it is a little funny, but it shouldn't be. Yeah, so I get that question all the time. I'm sure we all do. Like my dad, he's not on Medicare. He's always asking, like, how are you doing in the Medicaid business? I'm like, well, it's more Medicare, and what Medicaid is more of a low-income assistance for medical costs, and it's a state-by-state program. And then Medicare is like federal health insurance we've been paying into, through taxes, through our working years, that comes at age 65, or if you're on disability, you can get it after 2 years. But Medicare is more your health insurance for, most of everybody at 65 are on disability. And then again, your Medicaid is more of a medical cost assistance program depending on your financial limitations.
That's right. That's right. Okay. So anyway, I hope some of that helps. These are some of the questions we get. I want to end with one question we get a lot is, how do we get paid, or how do you get paid? And so that leads me into, we get paid by the insurance companies. You don't have to pay us for our services. It's a pretty cool situation, in my opinion. And that leads me into, down below the video here is our contact information. If you have a question or a concern or another question we haven't talked about, or even ask us a question, we'll maybe put it on the next little video.
Yeah.
But again, appreciate your time. We're down here in Garden City kind of having a good time. It's a beautiful day. Thanks for joining us, and take care.